Trump threatening secondary tariffs on Russia if no peace deal is reached, which is, of course, we've already tariffed them. Like, how much more can you tariff them? Are they tariffed to death already? So the president was out today in the Oval Office. Look at all that gold, baby. Looking good. We got Witkoff, we got Vance, we got it's Rubio, we got Hegseth in the house. NATO piling in, super close up of the president. Let's fast forward to some of this.
We worked on Egypt with a next door neighbor who is a good neighbor. They're friends of mine, but they happened to build a dam which closed up water going into a thing called the Nile. I think if I'm Egypt, I want to have water in the Nile, and we're working on that one problem, but it's going to get solved. They built one of the biggest dams in the world, a little bit outside of Egypt. You know about that. You've been hearing about that one. And that turned out to be a big problem. I don't know. I think the United States funded the dam. I don't know why they didn't solve the problem before they built the dam.
All right, so some NATO stuff, some Egypt stuff, some Nile River stuff, which is always fun. I always like that phrase. I think she's just in denial, and that's not a river in Egypt. Anyways, all right, here's this one. Here's some questions coming in.
The whole deal is also about missiles or ammunition, so it's broader than Patriots.
We have one country that has 17 Patriots getting ready to be shipped. They're not going to need them for them. So we're going to work a deal where the 17 will go, or a big portion of the 17 will go to the war site. That could be done very quickly.
Mr. President.
Yeah, please.
Could this transaction with NATO be viewed as a step towards achieving peace, letting Putin know that now Zelensky has a little bit more powerful tools in his tool chest, and maybe that brings him to the table to achieve peace? So I know that you wanted to do that.
Brian, that's what we've been saying. I think you might have expressed it better if you want.
That's
exactly what
Nice summary.
Nice summary. You might. I think he's done better than us. He's a very good guy. I can tell you that. But no, it's said. Yeah, I think this is a chance at getting peace. Or it's just going to be the same thing. I have to tell you, Europe has a lot of spirit for this war. A lot of people, when I first got involved, I really didn't think they did, but they do. And I saw that a month ago, and you were there, most of you, many of you were there. The level of esprit de corps, spirit that they have is amazing. They really think it's a very important thing to do, or they wouldn't be doing it. Look, they're agreeing, just, they're paying for everything. We're not paying anymore. We have an ocean separating us. I said, we have a problem. We make the best stuff, but we can't keep doing this. And Biden should have done this years ago. He should have done it from the beginning, but he didn't know he was there. This guy, what a horrible job they did for this country. And I just hope between the border and this and so many other inflation, what a horrible administration. The worst administration in history, in my opinion. That's not my opinion. I think it's everybody's opinion. But this is something that shouldn't have happened, and we're going to see if we can end it.
If I can follow up.
I do want to make one statement. Again, I said it before. This is not Trump's war. We're here to try and get it finished and settled and whatever. Because nobody wins with this. This is a loser from every standpoint.
From day
This
one.
was Biden, and this was other people. And it's very sad. It's a very sad situation. This gentleman's doing a great job. I think he's going to get it, and Matt and everybody else that's working on it, I think he'll get this thing over with.
Mr. President, you've praised European countries today as standing up for Ukraine, as being strong. Will you allow them to continue to negotiate tariffs lower than 30% before August 1st, or is the deal set at this point?
What does that mean? You mean you're talking about the tariffs?
trade, on
Oh,
tariffs.
you're back on tariffs. You're on a more friendly tariff, right? A little bit more friendly tariff. No, we're going to be talking to people. I watched the show this morning. They were talking about, when's he going to make the deal? The deals are already made. The letters are the deals. The deals are made. There are no deals to make. They would like to do a different kind of a deal, and we're always open to talk. We are open to talk, including to Europe. In fact, they're coming over. They'd like to talk.
Is there any concern about the U.S. stockpiles? There was a pause in delivery of weaponry to Ukraine in order to evaluate, apparently, the U.S. stockpiles. What came out of that?
Evaluation. This was a very big, what we're talking about today is a very big day. And what Pete was doing, and me too, I knew what Pete was doing, was evaluation, because we knew this was going to happen. And now we actually announced it. They voted on it. It's all been done. So obviously that has a big impact on when you say pause. Obviously you're not going to be doing things if you don't know what's going to happen here. But we were pretty sure this was going to happen, so we did a little bit of a pause. But this is a very big event today. This is something very...
Mr. President, if this escalates further, how far are you willing to go in response?
In what?
How far are you willing to go if Putin were to send more bombs in the coming days?
Don't ask me a question like that. How far? I want to get the war settled. They're not Americans that are dying in it, and I have a problem, and JD has a problem. It's a stance that he's had for a long time. They're not Americans dying, but there are a lot of people dying and on something that should be able to be settled. And we all agree with that. This group of people that want to defend our country, but ultimately having a strong Europe is a very good thing. It's a very good thing. I'm okay with that. Yeah, please, in the back.
Is there a ceiling on what the Europeans are willing to pay for? And it sounds like, are you ruling out the U.S. paying for some from additional weapons through drawdown authority?
Because basically what the president is saying, that he's willing, of course, taking consideration what the US needs itself. It's not that you can have a shopping list and you can order whatever you want, because the US has to make sure that
like
the US
EBT cards.
keeps its hands on what the US needs.
NATO
also
EBT.
to keep the whole world safe, because in the end you are the police agent of the whole world. You're the most powerful
Seen
nation
those
on Earth,
videos
the
at
most powerful military on Earth. Given that, the US has decided to indeed massively supply Ukraine with what is necessary through NATO. Europeans 100% paying for that. And what we have been doing over the last couple of days is talking with countries, and I just mentioned the ones who in the first wave immediately said, we want to chip in. And then you're really talking about big numbers. Take Germany visiting today, they're really talking.
All right, so lots of foreign policy here this morning, obviously from the White House, and talking about funding and how much money's going. And I think it's a nice little shift in strategy in that we're not just giving them things. Now I guess we're selling them things, so we'll make a profit on it to some extent, but we're still involved in it and we're still expending resources. But I guess if it's like selling arms, I don't know, that's like really a moral thing, but it might be better for the country rather than just gifting hundreds of billions of dollars over to Zelensky, who came back and demanded more.